This is the second video in our series about how to establish a sustainable community benefit agreement model at the municipal level. Today, we look at the specifics of the infrastructure trades and its nuanced hiring and training requirements. These are critical requirements to understand and account for in the design of any CBA program, given that we anticipate the infrastructure sector to account for the bulk of the workforce development targets at the municipal level. The municipal construction industry can be broadly divided into three sectors: residential construction, ICI construction, and infrastructure or heavy civil construction. Each sector is unique with their own employment and operating rules under the Employment Standards Act and the Ontario Labour Relations Act. A simple analogy would be to understand these sectors in the same manner as first responders. Firefighters, police, and paramedics are all involved in emergency response. However, each play a drastically different role. Similarly, the three construction sectors are all characterized under the umbrella of construction, but each operate in separate and distinct working environments and come with unique tradespeople and distinctive training program requirements. In infrastructure construction, the majority of tradespeople that are employed are in the voluntary trades. For voluntary trades, employers may designate a new hire as an apprentice. However, these apprenticeships are not registered, and as such, they don't require a worker to complete the prescribed hours. Rather, these positions may be more appropriately understood as trainee positions. The worker is learning on the job from more experienced tradespeople and may complete all, some, or none of their apprenticeship hours, and instead advance through various positions at their company by demonstrating competency and breadth of experience. This distinction is important when evaluating what public construction contracts provide opportunities for registered apprentices, and it's also why contract language and requirements are so critically important to get right. Infrastructure construction projects are typically self-performed by the general contractor. They perform this work with crews who work together as a unit, with each person performing a specialized task. Crew size is dependent upon the specifics of the project, as well as project length. New employees are hired on an as-needed basis, typically to fill vacancies in an existing crew, or if a contractor is expanding the number of crews that they employ. There's not a constant churn of apprentices moving in and out of companies in these sectors, as crew members tend to stay together as a unit from project to project. On very technical projects, or on ones with tighter timelines, a contractor will tend to employ their most senior crew for that work, with the less risky or less complicated projects being reserved for less experienced crews. And entire crews are often shifted together in between projects depending on where need exists within the company. A new hire in our sector is generally placed on a work crew and is given the most junior position with the least amount of risk, such as traffic control person, general labor, or watch person, so they can learn how the crew operates. Individuals are promoted or take on more senior roles from there based on merit. While there is much more variance in the makeup of work crews based on the specifics of the project, the tables included here provide a generic idea of what a work crew in some of the different sectors of the infrastructure trades look like. Entry-level or apprenticeship positions are highlighted in red. These roles are, more often than not, the starting point roles in our sector. These tables are simply meant to highlight where a worker would typically integrate into a crew and to note the different positions that are employed depending on the type of work that is required. In order to successfully put in place a CBA program involving the infrastructure trades, it's really important to understand how our employment model works and how it differs from the other sectors of construction. Municipalities need to recognize the differences between the infrastructure trades and the ICI trades and specifically tailor their CBA programs to account for these differences.